Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Facebook Live. Now, you may have noticed, you may have heard that there's an election happening somewhere in the world today. So that's the topic for today's live stream. And thankfully, I've got someone who knows something about politics, because I don't know anything about politics, because Lynn's with me. Hi, Lynn.
Craig, that's not true. I don't know very much about politics either, but we're going to try today. We are going to try to teach you.
Not knowing something about a subject has never prevented English teachers from speaking about it.
That's true. That's true. We can talk about it, no problem.
So if you're new to this Facebook Live, my name's Craig and I'm a materials writer at, mansioningles.com, which is a website for learners of English, specifically aimed at Spanish speakers. And we also have a podcast that's weekly, and that can be found at inglespodcast.com. And Lynn, what about you?
Okay, my name's Lynn. Hello, nice to see you. I'm an English teacher, and I have my own business, which is called putitlikethis.com. So if anybody's interested in language classes, I teach I teach teachers, I teach students, exam classes, business English, lots of different things. If you're interested, go to the website, you see what I can do.
Putitlikethis.com. Great. Well, if you're watching the replay on Facebook, thank you very much for spending time with us. And are we being joined by anybody live? Hema. Hello, Hema, again. I hope you had a good week. Katia is with us. Hello from Costa Rica, says Katia. Norma is here from Mexico. Fabiana from Argentina. Wow, there's a big selection of countries today. And from El Salvador, we have Mirna. Hello, Mirna. And from from Peru, we have Roya. So
wow, we've got all South America here, or quite a lot. That's great.
Very well represented. So today we're talking about elections and elections vocabulary. And Lynn has prepared a surprise for you towards the end of this live stream. So keep watching for a surprise at the end, and I will say no more. So let's start off and look at some vocabulary. But we're not going to dress up
today. We're not going to dress up today. No,
no costumes.
No disguises, no costumes, no. It's a different surprise.
It's a different surprise.
Okay.
But because in the news, obviously, the US elections are taking place as we speak, and there is still no winner. So whatever your politics are, I think we can help you to understand a little bit more if you're listening to the news in English and if you're discussing politics with English-speaking friends. So let's look at a few words that might help you speak about politics and elections.
Okay. So shall I start? Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got quite a few words here, and we start with to vote, because to vote, obviously, is when you say who you would like to run your country or who you would like to represent you. Now, the word vote, we can have it like a verb. So I am going to vote tomorrow. And we can also have the word vote, which is a noun, right? Now, at the moment in America, right now, as we speak, they are counting the votes to see who is going to win. Because it was yesterday that the people went to vote, the verb, right? And an alternative to say the verb to vote, you can say to cast a vote. That's a strange one, isn't it, to say to cast a vote? Because this verb to cast normally means to throw things. When you go fishing, you cast your line, which means that you throw your line. So I don't know where that comes from. Maybe in the olden days, maybe the people used to throw their votes. I don't know. Now you don't. You fold your vote up in an envelope and you put it into the voting box.
And one thing that's interesting is Lynn's pronunciation of C-A-S-T, because Lynn's from the north of England and you say
cast.
And I'm from the south of England and I say cast. So 2 different pronunciations of the same word, cast and cast.
Cast
We've got
and
some
cast.
more people joining us. Miliana, nice to see you. Silvia's here from Argentina. Susana from Argentina. Graciela from Buenos Aires. A lot of Argentinians joining us today. Emiliana from Italy. Pilar from Madrid. Christine's come back. Hi, Christine. Good to see you again. Bello from Spain. Lots of people joining us all the time. So it's lovely to see so many people interested in politics. Who would have thought that so many people would be interested in politics?
We need some Americans here, though, and then and then the Americans can tell us who's going to win, because we don't know.
I think the Americans are too busy at the moment watching the developing situation. So we have national elections, the whole country, which is what's happening at the moment in the US, and also regional elections or local elections to elect politicians for your area. So that sometimes happens in Spain, where we elect people for the town hall, for example, and for the provinces in Spain, and their regional or local elections.
The local elections is usually your town, your town or your village where you live. Can you vote here in Spain, Craig?
No, because I'm a resident and not a citizen. So I've just applied for the new residency card, but even with that residency card, I can't vote definitely in the national elections. And I don't think I can vote. Can we vote in regional elections? I don't think so.
No, we can't, because I'm the same situation as you. I'm British, so I'm living in Spain, and we're not allowed, even though we're residents here, we're not allowed to vote in the national elections or the regional elections, but we are allowed to vote in the local elections. And
the European elections.
Allowed to vote in the European elections too. So usually you can vote, I think, for your mayor, the mayor of your town, and you're allowed to vote in the European elections because we belong to Europe, for the European Parliament.
And Lynn was saying before, to cast a vote means to vote. So using the verb as a noun, vote, and then the collocation is to cast a vote. You can also cast a ballot, and the ballot is the piece of paper that you put in a box, and the box itself, la caja, is a ballot box. So it can be an adjective, it can be a noun. Can it be a verb, to ballot?
No, it can't, but it does have another meaning, Craig. And I had to check this yesterday. But in Britain, we also say, let's hold a ballot.
Yes.
And the word ballot, when we say let's hold.
You've lost your sound, Lynn. You've gone quiet. Lynn? Have you pulled out your headphones? We can't hear you. You've gone completely quiet. No, you're not back yet. You're completely quiet. So I'll continue for a few seconds. Maybe you can, try and sort it out. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. I can't hear you. Could you, if you're watching this live, could you please write in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can hear Lynn, just to make sure that we're okay. Let's see what people are saying. I'm from Romania, but I have my nationality and I can apply for everything. Yeah, you're lucky, Elena. But so you can vote, Elena. I assume you're from Romania, but you can vote here in Spain. So another collocation is to hold an election. You hold.
Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
you're back. Welcome back.
I'm back. Sorry.
What happened? We lost you. Oh, you've gone again. You disappeared again. You've gone quiet again, Lynn. We can't hear you.
No, I'm back again now.
Now you're back again.
It keeps automatically
disconnecting.
It doesn't want. Yeah, it keeps disconnecting. But anyway, we'll keep trying.
You're with us at the moment. You're with us at the moment.
You.
So at the moment,
Right,
I'm holding a pen. So to hold something in your hand, but you can also have the collocation to hold an election, which basically means to have an election. So at the moment in the US, they are holding an election, and they hold elections every 4 years over there.
And that's what I was trying to explain with hold when I lost my voice. Okay. And that was to do with the word ballot, right? So we said that the word to cast a ballot means to vote. A ballot is a vote. And we also have a ballot box, which is the box where you put your votes inside until the end of the election day. And then that box is opened up and the votes are counted, or the ballots are counted. But the word ballot is really interesting because it means a vote, but it also means an election. So you can hold a ballot as well. So I think that's a great word, because if you forget the other words, just use ballot.
Just use ballot, yeah.
You'll always be right. So to hold a ballot and to cast a ballot.
And the other collocation is to stand for the presidency, or you can stand for office. So if you stand for office, you are open to be elected for a position. You can stand for prime minister, you can stand for mayor of a city. So you're standing for public office. And the two candidates in America are standing for the presidency at the moment.
Another verb you can also use for to stand for is to run for. Sometimes so we use that word
not literally run.
Not literally run, but it means that you are in the running, you are in the race to become president, right? So it comes from that metaphor of racing to win something. So you can run for the presidency, or you can stand for the presidency.
So there are one or two collocations for you. Let's look at some political systems and words connected to political systems. So the US is a constitutional democracy. It has a constitution, and so does the UK. It has a written constitution. There's also
the UK doesn't have a written constitution.
Oh no, the US. Sorry, the US. The US has.
He really doesn't know anything about politics.
Do you think I should run? Do you think I should run for prime minister next year? What do you think? Replace Boris?
You could try it if you say that the Britain has a constitution.
We have a constitution.
It's a strange thing, but Britain has no
It's not
constitution.
written. Yep.
It's not written down. So there is no constitution in Britain, even though it's quite an old democracy. But usually now all democracies have a constitution.
And another system of government or political system is a dictatorship. For example, Mussolini was a dictator. Can you think of any more dictators? Franco was a dictator, wasn't he? Here in Spain?
I think I run a dictatorship in my house.
Do you?
I'm the dictator.
They listen to you,
They
yeah?
listen to me. Everything I say, it has to be done. No, but a dictatorship is where somebody, well, what would we say? They're not really elected as such. They say they are the leader, and they enforce that leadership, whether you want it or not. So you had like Mussolini was a dictator, Hitler was a dictator.
There's a dictator at the moment in Uganda, and there's problems there because he's removing anyone who runs against him. And before this dictator, there was another dictator called Idi Amin who named himself president for life. So, of course, if it's the same person who's always running the country, then it's a dictatorship because there are no democratic elections to elect a different person. And that's a dictatorship. Yeah.
That's right.
Federal system. I checked this, Lynn, because I wasn't sure of this.
Oh, good. Tell me. I just know that it's in Germany. There is a federal system in Germany.
Well, according to Mr. Google, a federal system of government is a system that divides the power of government between the national or federal government and the state and local governments. So the Constitution of the United States established the federal system. also known as federalism. But isn't that true in Spain? Because
Well,
in Spain, they have the central government in Madrid, and they have local autonomous communities or autonomous provinces.
I don't know why, but I don't think it is, because I know that there's been arguments, I've heard arguments in Spain about wanting to go to federalism, but Spain is not federal. Spain is autonomous regions. I think the autonomous regions in Spain have more power, I think, than a federal system.
So that's why they're not a federal system.
I'm not sure. Maybe somebody from Spain can clear that one up for us, because we don't really know.
Can you help us, please, with our politics?
Yeah. Rainer has recognized that the in-house dictator, that's me.
Joss says politics drives everyone. Anyone or everyone? Everyone.
Drives anyone crazy.
Crazy. So yeah, I'm not very political. I just think I just live and let be. Just live and leave me alone. Live and let be. Where are we? Autonomous regions. Yeah, we just said that Spain had autonomous regions. So we live in the region of Valencia in Spain. So Spain has. Do you know how many autonomous regions? 23. Not sure.
Oh dear, we're showing bad things now. We don't know how many autonomous regions there are in Spain. I think there's 23. Come on, somebody tell me how many there are from Spain.
We did prepare this. We have prepared the vocabulary. We just don't know that much about politics.
No, we don't. And also, we're trying to explain America and England and Germany. I mean, we're not experts. If we were, we would be the rulers of the world, Craig.
Yes, and earning a lot more money.
Exactly. 17, Rose says, but a question mark, so she's not sure either. Yeah.
Devolved Parliaments.
Yeah. Now, shall I tell you that? Because you didn't know that yesterday, Craig, did you?
No, and you explained it to me very well.
I explained it to you, yeah. So in the UK, we have, Craig didn't know this, but we have 4 devolved parliaments. There are 4 devolved parliaments in the United Kingdom. And that means that we have Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, and England, and each of them has a parliament. And in that parliament, they have members of parliament who sit and they do all the voting about new laws, or they debate structures. Now, that is quite new in the UK, relatively, because it didn't used to be like that. All the laws used to be created in London for Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, but they were devolved in the last, I can't remember when, but it's in my lifetime they were devolved. And when they were devolved, then that means that there is a Scottish Parliament, there is a Welsh Parliament, and there is an Irish Parliament, a Northern Irish Parliament, okay? And they have certain powers. Now, in autonomous regions, and in federal system in Germany, autonomous region in Spain, for example, they also have parliaments. They have their own sort of political place where the people sit together and make decisions. Yeah, and they're the regional parliaments.
According to Wikipedia, there are 50 provinces of Spain.
Yeah, but that's not 50. Autonomous regions, though.
No, that's not autonomous regions, that's provinces.
Because we have 2 provinces in Valencia, Castellón. No, 3. We have Castellón,
3, Alicante,
and Valencia. But we are one autonomous region. Hema says she thinks there's 13. Christine says 17 and 2 autonomous towns, which is Ceuta and Melilla. Thank you, everybody. You're doing great, teaching us too. That's wonderful. That's why we're teachers, because we need to learn.
That's what learning. Okay. That's what learning's all about.
Thanks, guys.
Question from Sergio. Happy to see you too, Sergio, in here. Do you have any prediction of the election result, Lynn? What do you think? What way is it going to go?
I don't know.
It's anyone's guess. Biden's winning at the moment.
I have no idea. I have followed the news today, and then at 1 hour they're saying it's Trump, and then the next hour they're saying it's Biden, and it's very confusing. Yeah. So I've decided that I am not holding my breath. Do you know what that means? You do, Craig. When I say if you're holding your breath, it means that you are not going to, because if I hold my breath, I will die because it will take too long, right, for me to breathe again. So I'm not holding my breath. I am not excited about it anymore. I am just going to wait with lots of patience. Yeah, and then when they tell me who the winner is, then I'll say the winner. What about you guys out there, though? Do you have any predictions about who will win? We'll see.
Moving on to look at some more vocabulary, we've got proportional representation, which is definitely not in the United States, because the previous election, Hillary Clinton actually had more votes than Donald Trump, but did not win the election. So it's not proportional representation in the US.
Mm-hmm. Because proportional representation means one vote is one person, one vote. And that the person who gets the most votes wins. That's proportional representation. But many systems don't have proportional representation. In Britain, we don't have proportional representation either. There are more seats for the parliament depending on the towns and the regions. So, for example, one town might have 2 seats in parliament. And another place, which might be much smaller, might also have 1 seat. So, for example, big towns, it doesn't mean that they get more seats. And that's when it's not proportional representation. And I think that in America, it's the same case. Some of the states don't have as much population, but they have seats in the House of Representatives and the Congress. So it's the seats that count. I believe at the moment they have to have in America 270 seats to win.
Yes,
isn't it? Or 170. 170.
No, 270.
270, and at the moment they're on like 140, 130, and so it's still counting up.
Still counting up, yeah.
That's right.
And what will possibly happen, and Donald Trump has intimated this, which means he's suggested this, he's hinted at this, is that if it's really, really close, he's going to call an unfair election, which is one of the collocations on the screen. So there may need to be a recount. That prefix re means again. So you're counting again, a recount of the votes or a rerun of the election. Remember, we said before you run for office. So there may be a rerun of the whole election. That's what I think he's going to put to the Supreme Court. And of course, recently there was a judge appointed by Trump to the Supreme Court. So it'd be interesting to see what happens if he legally appeals for a rerun of the election. It's going to be an interesting situation.
There's some very interesting predictions coming up from our viewers tonight.
What have we got?
Maybe
Let's have a look.
Put them up. Well, a little bit earlier, Jos Pirella, have you got that one? That one's lovely. The prediction I would like to claim is that I wish the final real winner to be the people. This
Power
is
to the
real
people.
Victory we want at the end. Yes, I'm sure that everybody wants that, really. And there was Christine, a little bit further earlier, said, "Aren't you going out on a limb?" Which is a lovely expression. Do you want to explain that one, Craig?
Yeah, well, your limbs and your body, your arms and your legs are limbs. So we have 4 limbs. And the expression to go out on a limb is to give a prediction, to put your opinion out there and go out on a limb, just take a chance, make a suggestion and give a prediction of what will happen in the future. I'm not going to go out on a limb because I don't know. I agree with I agree with Lynn. I want to wait and see what happens patiently. We have to be patient. It's going to take a day or two before we know. But we'd like to know your predictions.
But the thing is, I want to be right. And because in this one I have no idea, then of course I'm not going to go out on a limb. If I go out on a limb and I'm wrong, that's no good. I want to be right. I was telling Craig earlier that I have voted several times in my life, but I have to confess that I have never voted in my life for anybody who has won. I am such a loser. So I have very bad form. I don't seem to pick the winners. So that's why I'm not going out on a limb to predict, because my predictions are probably always wrong. Okay.
So moving on. So hopefully it will be a peaceful transition. Hopefully there will be no violent protests, and that the loser concedes defeat. So that collocation, to concede defeat, is to say, okay, it was fair, I lost, and then you hand over power to the winner. So let's hope that when the winner is announced, that the loser concedes defeat peacefully.
Yes, that's very important in a democracy, isn't it? And of course, when they have counted the ballots and the votes, then they will announce the winner. The Electoral College will announce the winner. But of course, even though they say who has won the vote, it depends very much on the two candidates. Because one candidate, this happens in America, so either Trump or Biden must concede defeat, and the other candidate has to accept. And when they accept that they have won, they give an acceptance speech saying, yes, I want to be the leader. Okay, so we have a speech to concede defeat, and that the loser will give the speech to concede defeat, and the winner will give the speech to his acceptance speech to say, yes, I've won. And what about the one in the middle, to inaugurate?
To inaugurate the new president is to give the president power, isn't it? An inauguration is the noun. And at the inauguration, it's usually a ceremony, and the power is transferred from the incumbent president, the president who is in office at the moment, to the new president who then takes control of the government. So that's the inauguration, that's the noun. And you have an inauguration ceremony, and that's when the power is passed over. A couple of questions coming in. Myrna is asking the difference between policy and politic, or politics. Politics is a science. It's the study of political systems, and policy is more, well, a company can have a policy. Policy is kind of like the philosophy of the company, isn't it, Lynn? And it's how the company operates. It's the things they do, the things they don't do, their public face, what they like the public to see them as.
That's right. But even within politics, it's not just companies that have policy. There are policies in politics. So politics is what we know. Yeah. Everything about the election, Trump, Biden, democracy, all of that field is called politics, right? The way people decide and handle power in a society, really, I suppose that's politics. But a policy is an individual declaration of how you are going to deal with a certain problem in society. So, for example, you have a housing policy. One of the either one of the sides, so the Republicans or the Democrats, will have a policy on housing, or they might have a policy on what do you call it? On power, like electric power, gas, a power, or a policy on fossil fuels. They might have a policy on immigration. And these policies are individual declarations of their beliefs or the way they want to decide those issues. Okay, so and then sometimes they make policies, and then as these policies are being implemented, sometimes society see that the policies aren't working, or the reason why they were implemented, it's just not working, and then they change their policies. All right.
And you often hear the collocation foreign policy. That's the way the government acts to countries abroad and their interaction with other governments. That's their foreign policy. Right. Yabir wants to know about Kanye West. We didn't hear. He announced he was running for president, and then he disappeared. Kanye. We don't know how many votes he got. We don't know if he was serious about it. But maybe next time, Yabir. Maybe next time, Kanye will be a serious contender.
Well, I did learn when I was trying to read a little bit about American politics, is that, everybody's talking about Trump and Biden, but it was possible to vote for other people who are so-called independent candidates. But the really strange thing is that in order for the independent candidate to stand for election in every state in America, they have to pay money. And some of them don't have that. So Kanye West, for example, was not on the ballot paper in every state in America. So even if in the states where he was standing, even if those states elected him, he would never have had enough votes or enough seats in order to win the presidency. So it's a strange system. So there are people who are standing and running for president who actually have no chance to become president at all. Which is a strange thing. For me, I found that a little bit strange.
Okay. We have any other questions? To concede defeat, aceptar la derrota. Yes, Elena. That's a good translation. To accept defeat, to concede defeat.
And you've already done a podcast on this, I'm learning. That people they enjoy your podcast on politics. So you're cheating. You know more than I do, don't you, Craig?
It's like I said before, Lynn, we speak about anything, but we know, I know very little. So, it's never stopped me speaking about anything, not knowing something about it. So. Hi, Mamin. Good to see you in the chat room. My friend Mamin's here.
Okay.
Where are we with the vocabulary? We've acceptance speech.
Acceptance speech. Now we're going on to jobs.
Jobs. Jobs. Yeah. We've got a couple of acronyms. So PM, Prime Minister, and MP, Member of Parliament, and there's MEP, isn't there? Member of the European Parliament.
Yeah, but it's really tricky with PM and MP. You can't get them mixed up because Boris Johnson is the PM. And anybody who sits in the parliament is an MP, a member of parliament. So you have to get that the right way. And then we've got president. Now, that depends on the country that you live in, because, for example, Britain does not have a president. We have a PM, a prime minister. America has a president, and they don't have a PM. And then you have countries like France that have...
I was thinking of France,
So they have a president, which is Macron, and then they have a prime minister who Craig will tell you his name.
Oh, why did you do that to me, Lynn? Why did you put me on the... I know I have to Google it. And he was in the news as well recently. President of France.
No, the president is Macron. I know that.
Macron. Okay.
I don't know who the prime minister is. Who is the prime minister of France?
Somebody know in the chat room who the prime minister? You should know. It's a European country. Jean Castex. Since 2020. Oh, this year he was inaugurated. This year, Jean Castex. So he's the prime minister of France. Now we know.
Thank
you for that, Lynn.
And it's strange. I've got another strange thing that I find strange is that, for example, in France, everybody knows the president, but they don't know the prime minister, unless you're French. I'm sure if you're French, you know. And in Germany, everybody knows the chancellor, who is Angela Merkel, but they also have a president in Germany. Yes. And I don't know the name of the president in Germany, but maybe somebody can tell us. Who is the president in Germany? But they can put it in the chat room. We're not going to go through the whole world, no. Right.
So we said you had the president, also the vice president. So is it Mike Pence, who's the vice president of America at the moment, Donald Trump? So sometimes you hear VP, vice president. Of course, you can also have a vice president of a company. And in the UK, you have a deputy prime minister. Mm-hmm. And one word we didn't write here, Lynn, is in the UK, you have shadow ministers.
Oh, yes.
Shadow in Spanish is sombra. So you have a shadow when the sun is shining and you see yourself walking on the ground and it's black. That's your shadow. But the political party who is not in power have opposite ministers. And they are shadow ministers. So you have the shadow minister for education, the shadow minister for transport, the shadow minister for health, etc. Shadow minister. That's another one we
that's a nice one. But I'm not sure whether they use that in American English, do they?
No.
I don't think they have shadow ministers as such, do they?
No, they don't.
In British politics, that's really common. Wow, such diversity out there in the world of politics we have. Every country's different, right? Oh, no, this is lovely. I love this one. You know what
Let's
I like
have a party.
Is the colours, right? So these are the parties. These are the people who represent certain ideologies or certain views. And they often, obviously, they compete about things. So, of course, Biden and the Democratic Party, that's the party that Biden is representing, the Democrats in America, they have certain views on how to run the country. And then, of course, you have on the opposing side, you have Donald Trump, who represents the Republicans, and they have different views. Now, often people divide these different views of politics into right and left. And they talk about left wing and the right wing. And so this is kind of like if you have a political spectrum, we didn't put that word up there, but if you have a political spectrum, you will have the right. I don't know which way I'm looking. Am I shaking the wrong hand there, Craig?
Yes, but don't worry. We know what you mean.
So everything's in mirror. I'm not very good with right and left. So you have the right wing and you have the left wing. So that's sort of things. And then you have extreme right and extreme left. Okay.
And center right and center left.
And then you have center left and center right, and you have center politics as well. Now, in Britain, we don't have Republicans and Democrats. We have Labour and Conservatives. Labour are more left and Conservatives are more right. In America, the Republicans are more right and the Democrats are more left. Okay. And the thing that I really liked about this is the colours.
Oh, so they're different, aren't they?
In Europe, it doesn't matter whether you're in France, in Germany, in England, in Spain, the left wing, the colour that is associated with the left wing is usually, Craig?
I was looking at the chat room. Sorry. Left wing in Britain is red.
Red, right?
For Labour. Labour's exactly red and blue Conservative.
And blue Conservative. And that's the case in most of the European countries. Red is left and blue is right. But in America,
they like to be different.
It's exactly the opposite. So the Republicans are red and the Democrats are blue. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we have to be careful. If the Americans ever give us a vote, we have to remember that in case we put the cross next to the wrong colour. We might get it mixed up.
And I was watching the BBC News, and they had a map with the colours, and they showed the colours depending on which candidate or which party had won which state. And I looked at it, and immediately my English brain started, and I thought, oh, Biden's winning a lot of states. And I realized
It was
that Trump had most of the central states, and he didn't have the states on the coasts.
Yeah, it's quite difficult when you read the newspaper. I don't know in South America, because we've got so many viewers at the moment from South America. I don't know if that's the same in South America. Do your left parties use red and your right parties use blue? Or do you follow the North American blue-red difference? Maybe they can tell us. That's really interesting. I'd like to learn that.
Mammons just told us that in Germany, the president, is it? Frank-Walter Steinmeier.
Steinmeier. Thank you.
Thank you, Mammon.
We're learning lots of things. We've got the French one, the German one. Okay, great.
Okay, moving on to the next set of words. Yes, the buildings. So in the Parliament in the UK is in the House of Commons. If you've been to London and you've been to see Big Ben, the clock and the tower, then next to that is the House of Commons, and that's where the government sits and where the opposition to the government sits and where they discuss politics. And there's another house called the House of Lords in the same area, and they don't have as much. Well, no, I don't want to say they don't have as much political power, because I'm not sure. I think maybe they do, but they're not as involved in the day-to-day running of the country. The House of Commons tends to vote on bills, bill, that's not Quento in a restaurant, that's a bill of law that gets passed or approved. So they're more involved in the day-to-day running of things. And in the House of Commons, you have the representatives of the different areas in the UK.
The House of Lords usually approves or disapproves major changes to the law.
Okay.
So the House of Commons is the ones who decide what they want to change. And the House of Lords says yes or no. But if they say no, it has to go back. To be discussed again. All right. And then in America, they have a similar system, I believe. And the Congress is sort of like the House of Commons. That's where the day-to-day business gets discussed. And the Senate is the kind of final approval, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We have to move on because we've got surprises coming. Craig.
Oh, yes, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So this is the last group of vocabulary for you. So before the election, both of the parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, launched an election campaign. So there's a campaign manager who organizes the PR, the public relations and social media, etc. And then they have a campaign, or they make an election campaign, which now obviously has come to a close. It's finished. And then 4 years from now, there'll be more election campaigns. And that costs a lot of money. You have to pay for the advertising, etc. And people donate money to the campaigns, and they're called donors.
So they give money to the parties that they want to win, and then the parties use that money to create all of the events around the election campaign. And then they give a lot of speeches, of course. The candidates who want to be elected, they give speeches. They hold rallies. Remember, we had the verb to hold again. We had to hold an election, to hold a ballot, and you hold a rally, which means you have or you organize a rally or you put on a rally. Okay. And a rally is where all the supporters of one party come. So it's really the fans, the real fan base, because in a rally, only the members of the party go to the rally, really. And
which is why nobody's booing. They're all cheering.
Exactly, they're all cheering
because it's from the same party.
they all support it. It's like a special like party for the supporters, a fan party. Yeah. And then they go on campaign tours. I think you heard probably that Trump and Biden in the last few days, they've been going on campaign tours all around the country, trying to give speeches and get more votes. And they have campaign slogans. And a slogan is a little saying which is trying to convince people that they should vote for one side or the other. Do you know any campaign slogans?
Well, Trump's famous slogan was make America great again, or keep America great again. And there's a slogan that's been traveling around different countries. And I don't know if you've noticed, Biden used it, Boris Johnson's used it, and it's also appeared, I think, in New Zealand, and it's Build Back Better. Let's build back better. You hear it everywhere, and it must be the same company, the same promotional company of campaign managers that are promoting this slogan, because watch out for this in the English press and in the English media. Build back better is everywhere now as a slogan, a political slogan.
But is that not something to do with COVID, do you think?
They've used it for COVID, and Biden's been using it to build back America better, and it's in at least 3 or 4 countries as their political slogan. So it's doing the rounds. It's doing the rounds.
Right.
Let's go to the surprise, Lynn.
Right. Are you ready, guys? Right. Now is your chance.
Oh, before that, yes, we can was very good, Asa. That was
that's a slogan, yeah.
That was a slogan from
Obama.
Obama, yeah. That was Obama's slogan. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's all right. So we hope you were paying attention to that riveting lecture on political language from the experts, Craig and Lynn, who know nothing about politics. Experts, right? But we hope now you are experts, and now we have a quiz for you to play. So we have prepared a Kahoot quiz. I don't know if people know what Kahoot is. So it's a quiz that you can play. Oh, Yabir says, yes, we're ready. That's great, right? So we have a quiz now for the vocabulary on Kahoot. Now, Kahoot, you play on your mobile phone. So if you're watching us on your computer and you have your mobile phone free, then you can go to Kahoot.it. You can also play on your computer in another window if you want to. Go to Kahoot.it on your phone, and this is the code to join our quiz, right? And then all you have to do is when everybody joins and I start the quiz, you vote. You have a quiz and you have 4 options, and there are 10 questions, and we will see if we get a winner. The person who answers fastest each time, you have 10 seconds to answer each question. The faster you answer, the more points you get, right? So I'm going to share the screen now, right? And the music.
Let's go.
Right. So you will see at the moment here, share screen. Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Right. I think it's this one. Right. Here we go.
Make sure you've got the code written down somewhere. Make sure the code is.
That's the wrong one. Sorry. It's because I've got 2 windows.
So you want to go to Kahoot.it on your phone and enter the code 1517712. 1517712.
Here we go. All right. And we'll put the volume up. Christine's in already.
Well,
Yabir's in already.
Yep.
Oh, and we've got Donald Trump.
Donald's here.
If it's Donald Trump. Hi, Donald.
Kahoot.it and the code 1517712. Anna's joined us.
Well done, Anna.
Let's see what vocabulary you remember.
Juanca.
Well done, Juanca. 6 contestants.
Yeah, we'll give another couple of minutes, Craig, because
sometimes
people have to get it on Chrome first. All right. Are you going to play, Craig?
No, I'm going to be the
judge.
the judge.
The judicator.
While we're waiting for people to join, Christine says, "Be it as it may, we're not going to see a landslide victory from the incumbent president." What a lovely sentence, Christine.
Beautiful. Well done.
Absolutely fantastic. Well done.
We're up to 9 students now.
Thank you, Fabi. That's very kind. I can't see your name in there, Fabi. Are you joining us on your phone? Kahoot.it. And the code is 1517712. We'll give you 2 more minutes, I think. And then we'll start.
Read that sentence out again, Craig, from Christine, because it was a lovely sentence. Oh, we've got Joe. Joe Biden's joined us.
Hello, Joe.
Oh, Donald's left. Oh, my goodness. Donald's left.
Oh, dear. What's happened to Donald?
Maybe because Joe came.
Yeah, probably. Christine's sentence was, "Be it as it may, we're not going to see a landslide victory from the incumbent president."
I love the prefix, "be it as it may." That means whatever happens, whatever it is. It's a very nice prefix to a sentence. Well done. Oh, we've got Nancy.
Donald's back. Donald Trump's back in there.
And Biden's there. So, yeah, we'll see how much they know about politics, whether they deserve to run the US, whether they're expert enough. Yeah.
Christine wants to know how many questions. I think there are 10 questions. Is that right?
Yeah,
10 questions.
Right. I think I'm going to count down from 10 and then we're going to start. Are you ready? 10.
Your last chance.
9. 8.
Join. Mariana.
7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Right. Here we go.
Let's do this.
Who will win with Craig and Lynn? Here is the quiz. Can you read that? So, to get a new president, the country usually has to what for an election? Oh, everybody's a bit slow. Only 2 people managed to answer. You have to click on the red, the green, the orange, or the blue on your phone, of course. But 2 people answered, and the correct answer was to hold an election, not to give an election, to hold an election. Okay, next one. Oh, and we see it was Paola who got it right. Well done, Paola. Right, next one.
Nice one, Paola.
Donald, shame on you. Donald, you didn't get the answer. Okay. Which word do we not use with ballot? Which word do we not use with ballot? You're getting faster. We got 4 answers this time. Remember, you only get 10 seconds. You have to be really fast. Right. So the word that we do not use with ballot is do a ballot. Now, I don't understand why cast is written here. I think that must have been my mistake. Right? So I'm sorry, I've made a mistake in my Kahoot quiz. We can hold a ballot. We have a ballot box. We cast a ballot, but we do not do a ballot, right? So the correct answer there was to do a ballot, right? Because we don't use it. All right.
Just a second, Lynn. Yabud's saying we can't see the question. It doesn't work properly.
Oh.
Maybe because because the text is too small, Yabud, or it's not on your screen? I don't think we can make the text any bigger. That's the biggest we can make it. So we'll just have to read it for you.
I'll read the question. So listen carefully, right? And then you can go. I'll read the question and the answers. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next question. Daisy is winning. Oh, Donald's coming back. Daisy is the leader at the moment. Next one. Are you ready to listen to the question? I'll read it very carefully. So, next question. If people doubt the result of an election, they can ask for red, redo, Blue, recount. Orange, makeover. Green, compensation. Right. And the correct answer was they can ask, if people doubt the result of an election, they can ask for a recount. Okay, a recount. And so we have, that was the correct answer. Right.
Christine says, my time is always up. That's a lovely expression. When your time's up, it's finished. I think that's the problem. They don't have enough time to answer. So we will, if we do this again, we will give you more time. But unfortunately, at the moment, it's restricted to 10 seconds. So we can't make it any longer this time. But if we do this again, we'll increase the time for you. Sorry, Christine.
All right. Sorry, Christine. Daisy's in the lead, though, at the moment. So we are working here. Here's the next one. Here we go, then. Right. Question 4. What kind of speech does a person give when they just find out they have won an election? Red, a thank you speech. Blue, a State of the Union speech. Orange, an acceptance speech. Green, an inauguration speech. I haven't even got time to read the answers. I'm so sorry. But we've got one person got it right, which was, I don't know. The correct answer was an acceptance speech, of course. Okay. All right. Next one. Question 5. Labour, UK, Democrats. What kind of parties are they? Red, right wing. Blue, left wing. Orange, fascist. Green, independent. They are left-wing parties. So Labour and Democrats are left-wing parties.
Who put fascist? Someone put fascist.
I don't know. Daisy's still in the lead. She's doing well here, Daisy. All right. Here we go. Maybe these people are, I don't know how she can see the screen, Daisy, but Daisy's doing well. Okay, here we go. Next one. Number 6. In the US, it's the president. In the UK, it is the MP, red, blue, PM, orange, queen, or green, leader of the party. And the correct answer, in the US, it's the president. And in the UK, it is the PM, Prime Minister. But nobody got it right. Some people thought it was the MP. Remember, MP is Member of Parliament. And somebody thought it was the Queen. But the Queen in Britain is not equivalent to the president. The Queen in Britain just has a representative role. Although it is true in Germany, the president also has a representative role. He doesn't really have a governing role. But in Britain, it is the PM. Boris Johnson is the PM. Okay, right. And next one, here we go. Number 7, nearly finished. Holding rallies, making speeches, creating slogans are all part of red, a political program, blue, an electoral campaign, orange, a manifesto, green, a round of voting. So holding rallies, making speeches, creating slogans are all part of an electoral campaign, right? So somebody got that one right. Let's see who. Oh, Daisy again. Well done, Daisy. Right.
She's doing well, Daisy. Well done. She's
doing really well. Paola's doing well too. Donald has stuck on 640. Paola.
Donald wants a recount.
Donald wants a recount. Right. Next one. I'm so sorry to everybody who can't play this properly. I'll put the volume down. Okay. Next one. Question 8. See if you can get this one. So question 8 is, the second in command in the UK is called red, the vice president, blue, the substitute president, orange, the deputy prime minister, green, the stand-in prime minister. Right, now the correct answer, the second in command in the UK is called the deputy prime minister. Nobody got that one, so you've forgotten that one. So the deputy prime minister is the person who is in charge when the prime minister cannot do the job anymore. Okay. Next one. Right. And we come to question 9. The candidate for the Republican Party in the US election is red, Donald Trump, blue, Craig, orange, Lynn, green, Joe Biden. Republican Party candidate. And nobody got it right. Nobody got it right. We have 1 vote for you, Craig, but 2 votes for me. So they want me to run the US. That's lovely. All right. And so the last question, everyone. Here's the last question.
No, he is, Lynn. He is the Republican candidate. Yeah.
Which of these is not an American term? Red, PM, blue, Senate, orange, House of Representatives, green, Congress. Well done. 2 people got it right. The PM is not an American term. That is Prime Minister from Britain. So, who will win with Craig and Lynn? In 3rd place, Donald. So he's won something.
Or Donald.
2, Paula, F. Well done, Paula. And first, who is it?
Daisy.
Daisy, well done. Okay. All
well
right.
done, Daisy.
5 runners up. Right. Okay.
So what have we learned? We've learned that we need to give more time.
Yeah, we have.
Give more time, maybe 20 seconds. And also that, well, Yabba said that on Kahoot, we only see the colors without the question. But if you have your phone, Yabba, and the screen, the idea is you look at the screen and then choose a color depending on the answer.
You actually vote with your phone and you see the quiz on the screen. That's the way it works. But of course, it could well be that some of you are actually watching us through your mobile phone. And then that's the problem. Because you need 2 screens, right? So you need a screen to see the quiz, to see us. And of course, when we share the screen, you don't see us, but you see the quiz. And then this is what you're actually voting with. This is what Donald Trump and America needs. They need voting by mobile phones. And then probably we would know who won the election. All right.
Immediately,
We actually have discovered that the real Daisy, who is the winner of the quiz, is called Maria Ines Horton. Congratulations, Maria. She was the one who has...
And she's holding her prize there, look.
And she's holding her certificate. Yeah. That got there quickly, Craig. How quick were you to do that? That's fantastic. Okay. Well,
go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry that unfortunately it didn't work quite as we planned, but we are learning. Today has been a learning activity for Craig and I. We have learned so much about politics, haven't we, Craig?
Yes, thanks to the lovely audience and thanks to you, Lynn, for helping me.
And we've learned a lot about how many seconds to put on the Kahoot quiz. And I hope that you liked the quiz, and maybe we should try it again. If you think you liked it, let us know, and then we can always try a little quiz at the end of the classes to try to recycle the vocabulary that we've talked about to see if you can remember it. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks very much for listening. If you've watched the replay, we hope you enjoyed that. We will be back again. Well, there will be another Facebook Live next Wednesday, hopefully with Monica, and then Lynn, hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks. So thanks for watching. We hope that whoever you would like to win the election will win it. And
don't hold your breath, remember, because you need more breath. Don't hold your breath because we won't know for a while yet, I don't think.
No, but let's just hope whatever happens, it's a peaceful transition.
Yes, and we do hope it's a peaceful transition. We do.
So I'm Craig from mentioningles.com, where you can study for free. And there's lots of courses and material and other stuff for you to study with over there. And again, the website inglespodcast.com has podcasts that will help you with your English, including one we did about politics that you may like to listen to if you want to refresh that vocabulary. Lynn?
Yep, and I'm from putitlikethis.com. I'm a teacher who offers classes online. So if anybody's interested, you can go to putitlikethis.com and look at the kind of courses that I offer. And I do recommend, because I want you to learn this vocabulary, if you couldn't play the Kahoot quiz, this is the perfect day to practice this vocabulary. So all you have to do is go on the TV and watch the election count of the vote, and you will be able to hear all this vocabulary, and then you'll be able to say, yeah, I know what this means now. Yeah. So the perfect chance to practice your vocabulary, to practice your listening, is now. Go online, go on the television and watch the reports in English. Yeah.
And in order to get, I'll add something to that, which is a very good suggestion. In order to get a balanced view of politics, make sure you listen to more than one media channel or media outlet. So yes, go to CNN, but also go to BBC, go to Al Jazeera, go to Fox, go to CBS. Just get a different selection of channels, not only what you want to hear, because it's also good to hear from the other side of politics so that you get a balanced idea of what's happening.
And remember, lots of people who talk about things have no idea about them, like us.
Thanks
so
for watching.
Believe everything you hear.
Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. And we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good week.
You there, Lynn?
You're still live, Craig.
I'm still live. Oh, I haven't ended.